Born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1994, Sabrina Zunich's birth parents had struggled with addiction, and as a result, she'd been left in the care of her grandmother. Suffering a string of mental illnesses from childhood, such as ADHD, anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder, Sabrina had been a troubled teen who often got into fights at school. Unable to control the unruly teenager, Sabrina was placed in a children's care home at the age of 14, and for the next several years would be in and out of the foster care system. It would be in July of 2011 that things started to look brighter for Sabrina when she was placed in the care of the Knoefel family. The Knoefels consisted of Kevin, a truck driver, and Lisa, a social worker, along with the couple's two young daughters, Megan and Haley. All was well for the first few months, and Sabrina appeared to be excelling in school, but by December, she was acting out at home. Sabrina would often find herself in arguments with Lisa, who she accused of favouring her biological daughters over her. Feeling like an outcast, Sabrina turned to Kevin, who was more than happy to lend a listening ear to his foster daughter. Providing a source of comfort to Sabrina, the two bonded, and from this day on, began to grow close. By the spring of 2012, the father-daughter relationship had turned sexual, and both Kevin and Sabrina embarked on an inappropriate affair. By summer, Kevin and Lisa were fighting more and more, and Kevin confided to friends that he was considering a divorce. In October of 2012, Sabrina shocked her schoolmate, Autumn Pavlik, when she asked her advice on where she could hire a hitman to take out her foster mother. Sabrina went on to say that Kevin had told her he wanted a divorce, but that Lisa was worth more dead than alive on account of an $800,000 life insurance policy. According to Sabrina, Kevin had told her that they would be able to build a new life together with the money. That same month, Kevin had secretly contacted Sabrina's social worker to ask whether he would be able to keep Sabrina if he and his wife divorced. He was told that as Sabrina was about to turn 18, she would no longer be in the care system. Around this time, Lisa had grown suspicious of Sabrina and Kevin's relationship and told Sabrina that she wanted her to move out of their family home. Sabrina petitioned that she wanted to stay and finish high school, but Lisa was adamant that she wanted her gone. On November the 15th of 2012, Kevin drove Sabrina to school as usual. This would usually be the time in which the pair would engage in intercourse, but on this day, Kevin pulled over and began to cry. He told Sabrina that he and Lisa had fought hard the night before, and that he was planning to commit suicide if Lisa wasn't dead soon. Young and blinded by what she thought was love, Sabrina told her foster father that she would kill Lisa for him. The following evening, 911 would receive a distressing phone call from 13-year-old Megan Knoefel. She claimed that her foster sister was stabbing her mother to death. Police raced to the home to find Sabrina covered in blood and still clutching on to the 15-inch blade. Upon entering Lisa's bedroom, they would find her lifeless body on the floor and 3-year-old Haley hiding terrified inside the cupboard. An autopsy report would find that Lisa Knoefel had suffered at least 178 stab wounds across her body, and with many of the wounds defensive in nature, it was clear she had put up a fight. Sabrina had sustained stab wounds herself. She was apprehended but refused to answer any questions during a later interrogation. Meanwhile, Kevin Knoefel, who was at work, was contacted by investigators who explained the tragedy. When he arrived home, it struck them as odd that he was so calm and seemingly unfazed by the murder. It wouldn't just be law enforcement who were thrown off by Kevin's reaction to his wife's brutal death. In the following days, friends who paid a visit to the family home remarked of Kevin's strange behaviour, and after attempting to visit his murderous foster daughter where she was being held at Lake County Jail, he became frustrated when he was told that he could not see her. In the next few months, as Sabrina sat in jail, Kevin collected the large payout from Lisa's life insurance. He spared no expense in living the high life, paying off his mortgage, buying a fleet of cars, and even a home in Florida, as well as indulging in flying lessons. His days as a carefree man, however, were numbered. Feeling cast aside by her former lover, Sabrina began to talk. In August of 2013, she would testify that Kevin Knoefel had been the one to encourage his wife's murder. Now 43 years old, it appeared that Kevin had used his 17-year-old foster daughter's feelings for him to influence her into committing murder. Kevin was arrested on the 9th of August and charged with being complicit to murder. Kevin's trial would commence in May of 2014, with Sabrina taking to the stand to provide a damning testimony against him. Just over 9 hours later, he would be found guilty over the role in his wife's death and sentenced to life in prison. He will only be eligible for parole after serving 30 years, by which time he'll be 73 years old. In September of 2014, Sabrina's trial would also begin. After pleading guilty, she too was sentenced to life with parole eligibility after 30 years. She will be 47 years old. In a recent interview, Sabrina Zunich, now 31, has expressed remorse at the slaying of her foster mother, stating that Lisa did not deserve what happened to her and asking for forgiveness.